Widespread condemnation of the military strategy in Cameroon government's effort to bring an end to the Anglophone crisis. The president of the republic and the military and of course his government remain determined, and the military crackdown is intensifying in the two Anglophone regions of the country. We shall be showing you some of the operations carried out by the military with the aim of putting an end to separatist activities in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. In this newscast, and the Minister of Public Health of Cameroon, Dr. Manauda Malachi, gives a 48-hour deadline for the burial of COVID-19 corpses. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television, live from my headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babla Jonathan, and we're beginning this newscast in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, one of the two Anglophone regions hit by a socio-political and security tension for close to 4 years today. And the military continues with its crackdown on separatist activities to put an end to all the activities of pro-independence fighters in the two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Before we bring to you that report, we'll talk about complaints from transporters and business persons who are raising concerns over some illegal activities of some elements of the National Armed Forces. They are complaining over what they consider as harassment from security and defense forces. Take a listen to one of the drivers and the response of General Kamer. He is the commander of the 5th Joint Military Region.
The road are too bad. After the road, we turn back to our own various town with too much control. We have too much control inside the town. We don't know that the controls are just for drivers or they are for other things. We don't really know why they control us inside town like this. Because from Douala we have control. Too many controls from Douala to Bamenda. But when we arrived at Bamenda town, we saw that we discovered that the control inside the town, they are much higher. They are much than the one that we saw in Douala Road. So the thing is too confusing. We don't really know what is happening. And that's how we spend with the bar road. We took the truck to the garage, we spent everything. It just looked like we are not doing anything. After all, we have paid the documents of the truck. The military, they are not able to control it. They say that they don't have time to control the document. We don't really want to know what they want from us. For example, when I carry plan to this truck, my money to spend from here to Linde, I spent 200,000 for control.
Cameroonians and Nigerians, brothers and businessmen came to my office, and then we held a meeting. And then they informed me about the harassment they were receiving from our men in the field, asking them to lose some money. So, for them to clear the road. I've given, as you heard, special instructions so that you organize teams of people who will be checking this in civilian attire, and those who will be caught, the military, the gendarmerie, or the police, will be caught carry out such activities. It is severely punished.
The President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, said that those who will refuse to drop their guns, come out of the bushes and return to the normal life trend, referring to separatist fighters in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, will face the heavy arm of the military and a military crackdown that has been going on in the two Anglophone regions of the country for close to 4 years today. While the crisis deepens further, the soldiers are crisscrossing the two Anglophone regions of the country, moving into some of the interior parts of the two regions, and the two regions carrying out raids with the aim of bringing to an end all separatist activities in those two regions, despite widespread condemnation of the military strategy being implemented in those two regions, and they call for a ceasefire by national and international institutions, including the Secretary General of the United Nations Organization. For me, I'm from Sanda Hasmo.
Military crackdowns on pro-independence fighters in the crisis-hit northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon is gaining grounds. In the northwest region, the military has embarked on an overall offensive against separatist activities.
After Operation Bafu 1, Operation Bafu 2, decided to plan operation, the operation code named Guidi Bali, meaning Guidi Kum Bali. Because as you are aware, the main supply road, Bamenda, Bali,
during the last major operation, the soldiers dislodged separatist strongholds in camps in parts of Bali and Widikum in the Mezam and Momo divisions, respectively.
The results, you had 13 ambers sent to heaven. They were sent to heaven. I don't know. They were not killed. They were sent to hell, right? They were sent to hell. And a lot of equipment and material were seized from the ambers. The camps were destroyed, where they are manufacturing those IDs. And you've seen, I would like to mention that machine gun that you see there, which those guys took from our guys in 2018 at Ambo, and even killed one of our soldiers. So it was a challenge for us, for the soldiers, to take back this gun, because for those who know what is this machine gun, it's very deadly. I also have that anti-tank RPG-7.
The soldiers in the operation reportedly killed more than 10 separatist fighters and seized several weapons and equipment.
Soldiers of the Paratroopers Battalion and the Amphibious Battalion conducted a raid in the locality of Bokam near Gajakiri, and they sent to hell. Is it to hell or to heaven? What is it? We sent them to hell, right? We neutralized 11 of them, also took around 10 dead guns. And last week also, the 53 Infantry Battalion in Boom, also conducted an operation around Zwa, and then they disrupted the main camp there and seized around 10 weapons.
Before the operation, codenamed Widi Bali, the military raided parts of Chakiri in the Boy division and Wum in the Menchum division. Despite widespread condemnation of the military strategy being implemented in the quest for an end to the 4-year-long Anglophone crisis, the government of Cameroon has remained determined to put an end to separatist activities in the northwest and southwest regions for a return to normalcy.
The Public Health Minister of Cameroon, Dr. Manauda Malachi, has given a 48-hour deadline for the burial of COVID-19 corpses. The minister has given guidelines on the management of COVID-19 corpses in the country after some incidents provoked by the poor management of the corpses of persons who died of COVID-19 in some health amenities in Cameroon. Smanjikan Gabriel has more.
Vous tirez ça comme le maquereau, comme le maquereau au sol.
This amateur video that has gone viral on the social media platform depicts the clash of words at a local clinic in Yaoundé.
On filme tout. On va faire. Oui. On va faire. Il n'y a pas le brancard. On filme.
The video was made by a family who were disappointed with the treatment given to their dead mother who was dragged on the floor.
Quand vous tirez la main des gens, vous avez bloqué plus de 24 heures. On va filmer. Vous tirez ça comme le maquereau. Comme le maquereau au sol. Les factures, c'est plus de 400 000.
Où sont les factures? Donnez-moi les factures que vous avez payées.
Quittez devant la porte, tombez notre corps. Faites comme vous voulez. Vous laisse avec. Vous allez enterrer.
The unbelievable incident occurred at the CMPS hospital in a source, Yaoundé. According to the medical booklet signed by the hospital authorities, Banjam Pauline, who died last June 10, 2020, was as a result of cardiac arrest and severe pneumonia. The family was frustrated at the non-respect given to their dead mother at a health facility that is believed to have up-to-date equipment to take care of such situations.
C'est quel hôpital ça? Vous n'avez pas de brancard hôpital de la caisse? Puis de 15 ans, vous tirez les mains des gens au sol. Ouvre ça, on va filmer. Nous allons filmer. Il faut ouvrir, nous allons filmer.
Informed about the situation, the director of the CNPS hospital frowned at the manner in which the health officials looked after the dead body, and on a media release, Alain Olivier Mukulu Mvondo Akame has suspended the health officials who were present on the day of the incident. He has also announced disciplinary measures that will be taken against them in the days ahead. This incident at the CMPS hospital in Essos Yaoundé add up to several others in many hospitals. In an attempt to stop such from happening, Public Health Minister Dr. Manauda Malachi, in a media release, has given 48 hours for COVID-19 patients to be buried. In the press release, the minister states the person could be buried in the town where he or she died, in a family compound, or at a public cemetery. More to that, the manipulation of COVID-19 corpses will be done only by those qualified. The casket of a COVID-19 patient must be covered with a breakable glass that only the head of the person can be seen by the family members. The media release of Dr. Manauda Malachi has given opportunity to families who will have time to spend with their loved ones before finally buried.
And Cameroon is now counting more than 10,000 COVID-19 cases, at least over 300 deaths, and over 6,000 recoveries, over 6,000 persons who have been successfully treated of coronavirus in the Republic of Cameroon. In the meantime, the World Health Organization is warning and urging countries to remain alert and not to continue easing restrictions as the COVID-19 pandemic is yet to be over, and a new cluster of coronavirus begins in the Chinese capital, Beijing, and parts of Beijing are back in lockdown nearly 2 months after the city declared victory over the coronavirus pandemic. And elsewhere, Brazil marks a record number of new cases in a single day. However, there is an encouraging development in the fight against the coronavirus. UK researchers say they have found the first life-saving treatment for COVID-19 patients. Courtesy Euronews.
Chinese authorities have shut down schools and universities in the capital, Beijing. It's the latest move in the rush to control the city's coronavirus outbreak, which has been described as extremely severe, infecting more than 100 people. The outbreak has been traced to the Zhenfadi wholesale food market, which sells thousands of tons of food a day and which had been visited by more than 200,000 people since May the 30th. Mass testing is underway and travel bans on people leaving Beijing are in place. Although 100 cases appears on the surface to be relatively few, the outbreak is the most significant in China since February, prompting fears of a second wave. In the UK, researchers have announced a medical breakthrough. They've found that a cheap and widely available steroid can help save the lives of coronavirus patients.
This drug, dexamethasone, reduced the risk of dying by about 1/3 for people who are on breathing machines, ventilators, and about 1/5 for people who didn't need the breathing machines but did need oxygen in hospital. Those are big effects for an important disease.
And scientists at Imperial College London are to start testing a potential vaccine on humans. The trials are the first on a new technology which, instead of using a part of the virus as many vaccines do, this one only uses synthetic strands of the virus's genetic material. Meanwhile, Brazil has set an unenviable record, more than 34,000 new coronavirus cases in a single day. Health experts are urging Brazil to strengthen social distancing, but President Bolsonaro insists states reopen for business.
Back home, we are taking you to Belabo in the east region of the Republic of Cameroon, and we're going to be talking about underdevelopment challenges affecting that part of President Paul Biya's country, and the municipal authorities are striving and enhancing efforts to handle or solve some of the underdevelopment challenges affecting the people there. Immaculate Fogwe has more.
The mayor of Belabo and his collaborators have finally been installed several months after they were elected at the helm of the municipality. Official sources say the delay in the installation was caused by the outbreak of the coronavirus. Now installed, the new municipal authorities are confronted with some challenges which they plan addressing. The tax base has been reorganized at the level of the council in order to encourage transparency. We have restructured it in such a way that everyone is aware of whatever comes into the council as revenue. Another problem the council plans to tackle is the illegal exploitation of the forest. Our forests are illegally exploited and it is affecting the revenue gotten in the council. In order to put an end to it, we are planning to demarcate our forests, and this will be able to help us limit the illegal exploitation of the forest. The 2020 municipal council budget was voted at 996 million CFA francs. Council authorities say the amount will be used to address the developmental challenges faced by the population of Belabo in the east region of Cameroon.
Now we're going to talk about an activity being carried out by some families in the Republic of Cameroon, a particularly risky activity, the production of gravels with the use of crude tools, and some families are now involved in that activity as a result of the high rate of unemployment in the country, and many children are also involved in this activity, which is in sharp contrast to international national laws on the protection of children. Details from Yams Onsanda.
Behind this touristic landmass of 500 meters height, the Misigilio and the Lupere Mountains have become a favorite destination for child labor in Marwa, in the far north region of Cameroon. Under the sun and the rain, throughout the day, minors, young boys and girls creep up the mountain in search of stones, which are brought down for their parents to transform into gravels. The activity has become a great source of revenue to family members involved in the process, from stone gathering to the transformation into gravel. However, family members say the crushing process poses a great danger to their lives, considering the risk involved. With an extreme ignorant determination to make a living from the risky activity, adults and kids have seen their loved ones killed by huge landmass on several occasions. The most recent tragic incident on the spot is that of a young girl who got buried by huge landmass under the helpless watch of family members.
Mais on continue toujours à travailler. Hein? Même l'étage tombe sur les gens. Les gens sont toujours dans l'étage. On va faire comment? Ça, ce sont des accidents que Dieu a prévus, peut-être pour lui.
Elites of the area blamed the government and the Marwa City Council for collecting taxes from the sector without due reorganization.
Les carrières de fortune, les carrières informelles.
In an area without available jobs to resolve the problem of high unemployment, the Marwa Council is calling on the population to quit the stone crushing activity for agriculture, but locals qualify the call of the Marwa Council as a non-event, as they say the council has not provided accompanying measures to redirect their activity.
Il y avait quelqu'un qui venait nous prendre 500. Je ne sais pas s'il l'amène à la...
In Marwa, like any other place across Cameroon, child labor is increasingly preoccupying to international non-governmental organizations who qualify the stone crushing activity as one of the most difficult on earth.
A power tussle rocks the Roman Catholic Church in the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. Reverend Father George Nkeze and the Apostolic Administrator of the Boya Diocese, Bishop Michael Bibi, are now at dagger's drawn over the presidency of the Catholic University Institute of Boya. Derek Jato reports.
Professor Julius Victhongo replaces Father George Kezejingwa as the president of the Catholic University Institute of Boya, the CUIB. Bishop Michael Bibi, the apostolic administrator of the Diocese of Boya, gave reasons why he did the changes.
Father George Keze is my priest, the former president. Before I did the transfers, I spoke with him and I told him, you have been there for this length of time. Now, if I came in here, has been on sabbatical. And I said, okay, since you're on sabbatical and we are not sure when you are coming back, I will not want you to run the university from America. I want the university to be run from Cameroon. And that is why I decided that I will get somebody, and we thank God I got Professor Victor here present in order to take that responsibility.
Sources say Bishop Michael Bibi has failed to respect the decision of the Board of Trustees of CUIB on the mandate of Father George Kezejingwa, which was to end by 2023.
The priests were appointed in December. And when they were appointed in December 2019, they made 5 months and I changed them. Why did they not complain?
And the social media is flooded on the issue.
The social media has been on it. I know they have questioned my authority as the apostolic administrator.
And that the Board of Trustees seem to be at the center between Bishop Michael Bibi and Father George Kezejingwa, the outgoing president of CUIB.
To give the impression that I'm not obeying the board and that I'm not obeying the statutes. Who obeys who here? Is the board officially appointed by the Holy Father to take care of this diocese, or is Michael Bibi? It is Michael Bibi. And I take my responsibility before God and the church.
The situation is escalating June 15, 2020, the Apostolic Nuncio on high instruction came out with a 6-point declaration, and point 3 stated that the apostolic administrator is the legitimate authority over all priests, religious and any other mission personnel within the Diocese of Boya, and reserve the right to appoint, transfer, remove or dismiss persons according to the prescriptions of the Code of Canon Law and the specific instructions given to him by the Holy See. 24 hours later, June 16, 2020, Bishop Michael Bibi gave out a public declaration in Boya. This time, away from the appointment saga, another crack has been spotted.
I discovered that with the Kamer University Institute of Boya, the signature of the emeritus had been removed and that of the president replaced it. So I said, no, for me, coming in, the emeritus gave that privilege to the president and pro-chancellor, but I don't want that to give him that privilege. I decided to replace the signature with mine. Barrister Cliff Sobe decided to give the banks to question my authority.
And the said lawyer is taking some banks CUIB does business with to court.
Actually, the court case is supposed to come on the 23rd of June. Taking the banks to court is taking me to court. How can the Kamer University Institute of Boya take their bishop to court? For me, that is a terrible situation, but I think that is ignorance.
With Bishop Michael Bibi, the Apostolic Administrator of the Diocese of Boya, Chancellor and Proprietor of the Catholic University Institute of Boya, goes to court in the days ahead. That is the question on many lips. And on the institution teaching and learning page, just from a meeting with members of the faculty and staff, Professor Julius Victongo, new president of CUIB, says he is ready to contribute his own quarter to better this Catholic University Institute of Boya. Professor Julius Victongo was the former Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Boya, in charge of research, cooperation and relations with the business world.
Talking Point is up next. We're receiving an entrepreneur today. Ngala Boris Nze is from Dubai, but he is a Cameroonian from the northwest region of the country. You're welcome.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Babila.
All right, you're a Cameroonian from Ndop in Ngokutunje division, northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. Since when was the last time you went home?
It's been a great while actually, because normally I've not been home for almost like 6 years now. 6 years.
All right, you came back home in March.
Yeah.
And you've been here for more than 3 months because of the coronavirus pandemic. For the past 3 months, did you try to go home?
No, because I've you know, we live from day to day with fear of the unknown. You know, for what is already going on, that has been going on from 2016, that you know. And it has really been a kind of like devastating and really kind of like troubling. So I feel very insecure to go home. Though I miss my family, yes, I miss my grannies and all of them, but at the same time I feel very insecure to go home.
When you look at the situation back home today, what do you think should be done?
It is actually hurting, especially to us diasporans. I mean, you know, when you're going to work early morning, maybe you're going to work, you're scared to even check online because you don't know what news you will see next. You're just leaving like, just, you know, whatever happens. So we live in fear.
All right. What information are you receiving from the people back home, the grandmothers, fathers? Brothers?
I mean, several people, family members, friends and loved ones, they've told me not to even think of coming home because they don't want anything to happen to me. Yeah, so they told me not to even think about it. Like, let me just be.
All right. You've been in Cameroon, like I indicated earlier, for more than 3 months, and you're held back here because of the coronavirus pandemic. Is that
you're right. It's you know, it's something that has been a global pandemic, and you know, we are not exempted from it. So whatever had been the consequences, each and every one of us, we had felt it and nobody in the world would say he has not been affected by it. So it's really been.
What's been the impact of the coronavirus and the fact that you've been held back here in Cameroon for more than 3 months? What's the impact on your business, on your activities?
It actually slowed down everything, like, you know, but I took advantage of this time, you know, just to do a little bit more of reflection of re-strategizing, you know, just a little bit more of you know, building up my team and trying to make sure that we get things done once, you know, things get back to normal. So it's really been, on the other hand, it's been very negative, but on the other hand, it's been very positive, I can say.
All right. In terms of revenue, in terms of income, in terms of finance,
it's been all stagnant.
What is some of the fallouts of the coronavirus, or better still, what you've lost because of the coronavirus?
Millions. We've lost millions. Yeah. Millions, not just in francs CFA, in dollars. Like, we could probably, I'm an entrepreneur, so I meet a lot of people and we deal with contracts. So for instance, if I sign more than 5 contracts right now, I'll be talking good money. But because of, you know, the coronavirus, we've been stopped.
All right. What's the nature of your business activities, and how does the coronavirus impact the chain of production of either services or goods and so on?
Okay, you know, we provide services to people, so we have to like hold meetings and stuff, and it will all stop, like no meetings. We couldn't hold meetings with people. If you want to do a meeting, you have to do Zoom calls, and it's very, very difficult to go along because you know, the network issue everywhere, it's not really very good, the network issue, and
especially here in Cameroon.
Yeah, especially here in Cameroon. So
countries.
yeah, actually it's been very difficult to get across to clients, to get across to investors, because we deal specifically with investors, those that are interested in investing and securing a better future.
Are they still coming in numbers who want to invest and so on, or they're simply shut down? Or?
Yeah, recently we've had a lot of emails from people left and right, and they're showing interest. They're, you know, like, you know, waking up, they want to invest, because irrespective of the coronavirus lockdown and everything being shut down, yet we still have to do something. Somebody has to do something, and here we are trying to get something done.
All right. So now, back in Dubai, where you were activities flowing in full gear? Or?
No way. It actually was very difficult in Dubai, because at a point they declared 24 hours lockdown, 24/7, you know. That means if you have to go out, you have 3 hours of going out, and it should be like to a pharmacy or maybe a supermarket, from what I've heard from people. So it was really very, very difficult for them, actually, you know, within this time, within this period, because they were doing a kind of a general sterilization of the whole city. So that makes it very difficult for those that were residents there.
All right, so you're waiting for the coronavirus to give way, so you can go back.
Yeah, airports are open. Grateful for, you know, the airports are open right now, and I'm just trying to do 1 or 2 things, put my things in place, then I'll be on my way.
All right. When you look at what the government of Cameroon has been doing this far, all the measures taken, all the efforts to bring down the curve of coronavirus, which has continued rising over 3 months, more than 3 months today. What do you think about what you're seeing around you, the attitude of people, the response to the coronavirus pandemic by the authorities and so on?
I think preventing coronavirus is all about, you know, sensitizing the people. It's about being conscious. It's about being cautious and, you know, conscious of cleanliness, of social distancing and all of that. The government will do what they do, because normally they don't have I will not say they don't, but I would say the government in power risk to give Cameroonians subvention if they have to lock people down, of which I don't think the government is ready to do that as of now. So it's all about the population out there to know that they have to be conscious of cleanliness, of social distancing, and trying to do what they have to do in order to survive throughout the season.
Lockdown will be a pretty difficult thing in Cameroon, looking at the socio-economic situation of the country and the people who are living on a day-to-day basis and so on.
It's really been a very difficult situation, honestly, from what I've seen people go through. It's really been very difficult for individuals.
Have you been able to move around the town of Douala in the evening, with the people streaming into the bars, streaming into entertainment sites, streaming into kind of funeral ceremonies?
That is where I mourn, that is where I cry, because honestly, when you look at people, they don't respect social distancing. There was a time I went to I was just passing by Sonel, this place, and you see people like flooding in, and there is no social distancing. People are just, there's a whole mob of people. It was just heart aching, because normally when you look at it, if actually one person get contaminated, the way Douala in particular is congested, then more than 100 people risk to get contaminated.
All right, so there should be some sort of responsibility. The head of state and other authorities have called for greater responsibility, greater discipline, or greater responsibility on the part of the population, but that seems not to be happening. What do you think about crackdown? Some people are saying that there should be crackdown.
No,
people should be arrested and so on.
No, you cannot impose your ideologies on people that ought to be thought, that ought to be cautioned, that ought to be corrected. You cannot impose that on people, because each and every human being has this power in them. When you crack them down, they will crack you back. Yeah, so you have to use a more convincing way in approaching people and making your ideas known and making them adopt your ideas. I think that's the best way.
It should be communication.
Yes, proper communication.
You use an expression there which is quite interesting. If you crack them down,
they'll crack you back.
They'll crack you back.
Yeah.
And the military is cracking down in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, cracking down on the separatists, cracking down on the pro-independence fighters in Balinyanga, in Wedikum, in Bafud, in Chakiri, cracking down on them everywhere. Do you think that's responsible for the crackback, so to speak?
Mr. Babila, honestly speaking, the government cracking down on the people, on civilians, be it on the whatsoever fighters, I would want to say that it's actually not the best option, I would say, honestly, because when you get to a family, you kill a father of that home, you're empowering the child to grow up, to stand up and to fight. And so the whole generation can fight till the next generation. So I don't think it's the best way to settle scores. It's about, coming to the table and getting things done. Speak it out, settle it there, and accept your differences, but at the same time you have to agree.
And the agreement is what is quite difficult to come by. Some Cameroonians sat together in the major national dialogue. Some recommendations were made, some are already being implemented, but the solution is not coming forth. The killings continue, the destruction of practice continues.
Mr. Babila, honestly speaking, the power is the power of this country relies on its citizens, right? So those that are in power, the politicians and all of these people, the first question when you look at the dialogue that you just mentioned is, who was on that table? Were there politicians? Were there people that were in power and that are supporting this very regime and all of that? So you get to understand that few people that are already in power get to agree on some certain things, and they want to throw it to the population. They want to throw it to the people. Like, you know, you have a dog and you want to throw some crumbs to that dog. Normally, we were not dogs. We're not dogs. We're human beings. You ought to treat us much more better. You know, the people will not accept it, and people will not take that. And when they don't take that, what happens? In as much as they have that willpower, in as much as they have that idea that cannot be killed, you can kill somebody, but you will not kill their idea. So the idea lives on to another generation, and the generation keeps fighting. The main thing right now is looking for a way to solve this, to bring a solution, to bring an end to this crisis, which is sitting on the table, not with the people that have been there, but with the people that the people recognize. Because there's a word, the people that the citizens, that the English-speaking people recognize, they acknowledge as their leaders, not some political figures. It doesn't work, and it will never.
All right. Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to
Dr. Sako.
No, I'm referring to people that have been here on the ground trying to solve the problem, which has not been solved so far.
Leaders recognized by the Anglophones.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a last word before we go?
Yes, as an entrepreneur, I would wish to encourage each and every young man, young woman out there to, you know, keep moving, believe in yourself. I started a company. We started a company. It's not about me, it's about us. We started a company, Boris Bison, and we're based on real estate, like property investment, and we do hospitality as well, in as much as we have you know, in the industry we have agriculture. So I would encourage you to start something, do something, irrespective of the corona, the crackdown, the Anglophone crisis. Just go on and do something, and you know, you will always win. Just believe in yourself. That's one thing I want to say to all the televiewers out there. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's sounding so good in the ears, but in the practical phase, some of them will tell you that this is not easy here. We don't have any money to invest. We don't have any money to eat, and things like that.
Yeah.
How did you manage to pick up from on a very strong foot? Because when I look at you today and what you've been able to establish, there's an indication that you picked up from a very strong foot.
Okay, there is this saying that I said to myself one day, Boris, if you don't do what you know will do you. Meaning, there is something you know that you can do. There's something you know that you can do, and you can create impact. You can make a difference. There's always something that you can do. So every day of your life counts. You have to start doing that thing. And if you don't do what you know will do you. For instance, if I know that I'm going to carry maybe some vegetables to the market and I get some money, that will help me to improve my lifestyle or my condition on whatever way, and I don't do it, probably poverty will do something to me. I already know that. So what has been my motivation is that I do what I know. I believe in myself, no matter whosoever doesn't believe in me. I just believe in myself. I go on and do it. I start something, and there will always be people that will come along to help you. People are watching me out there. I mean, I have people watching me out there. I know of people that have been with me, that have been supporting me right over there in Dubai. They have been supporting me at the start of the company. They have been giving me favors, and I'm grateful, forever grateful for them. But they would never have supported me if I didn't start something.
All right, Gala Boris Ze, do what you know you can do, or what you know will do you. Start working, or poverty will civilize you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today.